he would use us in his service. Ain't he all right? Can you see that? And so it is that in this view, we have this burden of this responsibility. Now consider the language of this apostle who farther on in his public ministry runs up against obstacles. At Mars Hill, they wouldn't hear it. He came down to Corinth, depressed and downtrodden, because the word had not received a good hearing. He went into the temple, and the Judaizers confounded him again. So angry was he that he rent his clothes, walked out and said, I take my message to the Gentiles. He set up in a house next to the temple. But the Bible says that that night he had a dream, and the Lord came to him and said, Paul, go on and preach. Don't worry about what they say. You're not by yourself, for I have much people in this city. My brothers, I don't know what you may have to face. I don't know what challenges may come. I don't know what problems may arise. But I'll stop by to tell you, go on and preach. For the Lord has much people in this city. You're not by yourself. He's still guiding your feet. He's still holding your hand. Ain't he all right? Ain't he all right? Say yeah, yeah. I know he's all right. Do you know him? Have you tried him? Can you say yeah? In our text today, the Hebrew list, and I believe that the author is Paul, writes this letter to let us know the centrality of our assignment. He opens this letter by saying, God, at some dry time and in divers manners, in times past, spake through the prophets, but in these last days, he's spoken through his son. I hear Usher in the scholastic assignment saying there are two words that carry on the buoyancy of Hebrew. Those words are better than. Jesus is better than an angel, better than Moses, better than Melchizedek, better than Aaron. Ain't he all right? Can you say yeah? So, brother preachers, I stopped by to challenge you. Your assignment is not to preach the culture of our age. Your assignment is not to preach the sociology of our time. This pulpit is not a psychiatrist's couch. It is the armor place of a holy God. Tell the world that Jesus is the light of the world. Tell the world that God so loved it that he gave his only begotten son. I know it's an old story, but it's a good story. I know it's an old story, but it's a true story. I know it's an old story, but it's a relevant story. For God looked over our faults, gave us his son, who wrapped himself in a mantle of flesh and walked down through 42 generations. Anybody here know him? Can you say yeah? He walked this earth for 33 and a half years. Healed the sick. Didn't he do it? Raised the dead. Didn't he do it? Gave sight to blinded eyes. Didn't he do it? Is there anybody here who knows my Jesus? to nail his hand because they thought that the power was in his hand, because they heard he healed the sick. They let him remedy his feet because they thought the power was in his feet, because they heard he walked on water. But they forgot that he said, and if I be lifted up